What's up, fam? Yo, yo, yo. What's up, guys? This is so interesting. Everybody, welcome to the first stream ever for Preacher on YouTube. What to do? So, like, as uncomfortable as it might be for those of you who know me over at Twitch, I'm right there with you. The funny thing about this, too, is I told a lot of people from my community that I was going to be live on YouTube with Streamloots, and all y'all have different names on YouTube. So, some of you I know, some of you I know, some of you I do not know. If you've not tuned into my Twitch stream, that's no big deal. But it would be helpful for me to know if you're tuning in on YouTube because you subscribe to the Streamloots YouTube channel. Is it orange? I'm trying to monitor some things, right? I'm a first timer. We got a first timer over here. Hey, Mom. It's his first time. We got Mr. Marksman Gaming. What's up, Marksman? How you doing? See some familiar faces. Shell, Orange Croc, and my friend Goldie's in the house. Spanish, what's up, homie? How are you? Spanish, do we know each other yet? Zane, what's up, Zane? How are you? Is the quality that much better? It looks really good in the preview, but it's also I have it smaller over. So right now I have the YouTube chat up here, but I also have like the analytics here as well. Let me just do a little switcherino here. So like I'm watching this, I'm very curious. That's 3060. Let's look at the HD. Oh wow. I mean, let me blow this up for a second. Oh wow, this is Inception right now. We got Streamception going on. It's not bad. Not bad. Nice. You guys, hey, seriously, welcome to the first stream from me anyway on the YouTube channel for Streamloots. It's a pleasure to have you guys. Seriously. We got Dan in the house. Chris, what's up? Oh, there, it's Broken Sevens. Okay, we got Jackalope. Roger, what's up? Oh, that's Gloom. This is so fun for me because I know some of you guys, but you guys, honestly, you could totally take advantage of the fact that I don't know your actual names that are popping up in the chat and straight up troll me. Yeah, man, we're going to get him so bad. He doesn't know who we are. It's very interesting. Sean plays games. What's up, Sean? How are you? Oi, oi. Antron Silver, what it do? This is fun for me, though, because I'm learning right alongside you. If you haven't tuned into, like, YouTube streams before, this is a new experience for you. It's a new experience for me. I'm just trying to... the thing that matters most to me right now is you guys. Right here. Everybody that's here, you guys are the ones that matter most to me. Okay? You. Oh my gosh, Portly. This guy. KGGGGGG Gamer. What's up? How you doing? Welcome. It's a pleasure to have you. What's up, Jacob? I'm glad. I'm grateful, Gamer. Thank you. Just tell. It's good though. It's good. It's fun. It's good. Oh my gosh, he pointed right at me.
Oh my gosh. He's talking to me. He's talking to me.
You guys, it's really good to see all of you. I hope that you're having an incredible day. As I like to say, I hope you're having the best day ever. Today's stream, the goal really is for us to connect with you guys. We don't know... We put out a lot of content on our channel for streamers to help you guys grow and continue to do what you love. So the whole principle of the channel is built around supporting you guys who are looking to do streaming, whether part-time, full-time, whatever it might be, as a hobby, to help you increase what you do and get value out of what you do. So a lot of the videos you see on our channel are based around giving you tips and hints and tricks, principles. I love talking about it. I love sharing this stuff with you guys because I've learned a lot from many mistakes. So many mistakes. Anyway, so my goal is to help you guys from, you know, anything from like tech stuff, things that I'm still learning about, to like relationship building and community building. So my hope is that if you guys tune in to the YouTube content that we put out weekly, that you always feel that you can reach out to me, reach out to anybody from Streamloots, ask questions, dialogue about it, and that's what we can do even today. I'll be live for about an hour, probably from now until about 6. We'll talk about a little bit about Streamloots, talk a little bit about streaming. But if you guys have questions, things that you want to talk about, that would be dope to know what those things might be. A lot of you who have tuned in and watched some of the content, a lot of things have changed actually here. One of the things that's been happening for me right now is like I'm learning a lot about keeping things fresh. So, you know, right now, if you've watched the YouTube videos that we've put out, you'll notice that there's a different setup than what you're seeing here. I used to have a side cam that was kind of looking at me from the side, and I liked it. It was good for my setup. It worked well with my space, but I needed to freshen it up, and I wanted a more personal, like, face cam. So I was actually looking at my viewers and actually talking to them, which is different for everybody. Everybody's got a different style and preference, but I felt like for my content, I wanted to have a more like straightforward kind of look to my chat. Normally I'm facing here for my game, right? So it's a little bit of a side, but I enjoy it. Orange Croc, good first question. And any questions you guys have, I would love to talk about them. Seriously. The first question from Orange Croc is, what influences your schedule decisions? Orange, are you specifically referring to like the time of day that I stream, how many days a week that I stream, or what I do during the stream? It's a good question though, because there's a lot to say about like schedule. Chase, what up, homie? Good to see you. Which days and times you choose? Yeah, so this is an interesting one because with every single person, they each have a unique context. I talk a lot about context in some of the videos that we've done. And context is really important because what works for you will not work for me and vice versa. And there are some limitations. I don't like to think of them as limitations. It's more of like understanding your context and leveraging your context within the context. So, for example, I have 2 kids. I have a family. My wife works and I work. And some of that stuff is shifting. Now, for me, what's most important is like my family will always take a number 1 role in my life. That's my context, right? So now I take that foundation and now I build my schedule around that. Now, I will say that when I first started, doing that was really difficult because in order to gain some traction, I wanted to be streaming at times of the day where I felt like I could get some initial boost in discoverability. Now, if you guys are familiar with like the time of day, most people, right? Let's say, how many people have a job right now? Very basic question in the chat. How many of you guys are working a job right now? Or you're going to school, college, whatever. Spanish, Portly, right? Full time. Chris, Justin, look at the chat go. Antron, okay. Now, I'm going to ask another question to go alongside of this. How many of you are typically working during the day? I know that some of you do like evening shifts. How many of you are working generally during the day, 9 to 5? Hands raised. I'm not talking rocket science here, okay? Not talking rocket science. Zane Wilson, I see that question, by the way. I'm going to kind of copy and paste some of these so I don't miss them. If I do miss it, let me know too. Marksman, I see yours as well. Let me just pull up my notepad here. Okay, I got one there. And Marksman, I got yours as well. What was the must-have to start? I'm just using my phone right now. Okay. One sec. Oops. Okay, so a lot of you, right? Okay, there it is. It's locked in. Okay, 7 to 4, 10 to 4, lots of like daytime. So this isn't rocket science, you guys. Most people are tuning into live streams at prime time, which is going to be like 6 to 8 p.m. Now, the cool thing about streaming is that you have people that tune in from all over the world. Now, as a US-based streamer, I'm obviously going to probably connect with people who speak the same language that I do, which would be people in the US, mostly, right? So there's a large viewer base in the US that's going to watch US streamers or people who speak English, right? And most of those people are done working between 6 and 8 p.m. Or they're done with school, you know, at that point in time. So naturally, that's built into the schedule, right? So when I first started streaming, I didn't actually start at that time. I was starting at like 7 p.m. And then what would happen is over time, people were signing off, right? Streamers, you know, a lot of really big streamers. I started on Mixer, by the way. For those of you who don't know me, I started on Mixer. Was partnered there for 2 years. Mixer obviously shut down. But for the beginning part of me streaming, I was actually doing 3 or 4 nights a week, like at 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. And I saw a lot of growth. Is that an ideal time for somebody in my context that has a family with kids? No. Right? And so now we could talk about mental health, right? Because the reality is if you are up that late, you're not getting good sleep, you wake up the next day. I was doing a full-time job while I was starting. It totally impacted my energy, both with my family and with my stream, if I was doing a weird time for me within my context. However, if you don't have some of those caveats in your context, that might be a really great time to start, you know. But it depends on where you're at in your like your journey, right? Like if you're just starting out and you get done with work at 5 and you want to start streaming and get some initial growth, it might be helpful to start at the times when you have less competition on the platform. And, you know, because a lot of people are starting their streams, like a lot of big name streamers, they're doing midday, you know, like 11 a.m. to like 7, that kind of a thing, or to 9 even. Just kind of in that chunk. So like being outside of that can be really helpful. To start, at least, to get an initial audience. Checking into some of these camera. I saw the camera question there. Can you please help me to fix my Streamlabs? Tara and Delua, you'd have to be very specific with what you're exactly referring to, because Streamlabs is massive. Let me try to do these in order as best as I can. I got another really good question. Let's see. Gad says, we just need to find that free 2 to 3 hour space to stream and then we're good, I guess. Yeah, sort of. Now, I will say that oftentimes when it comes to the time, we're talking about scheduling a stream, by the way. Like how do you decide when to stream? You want to consider when the audiences are tuning in mostly. You also want to consider like what you're competing against when you're starting out. And I don't say competition like comparing yourself to other people. I just mean there's a real conversation around the quantity of people who are streaming at the same time as you, right? Now, if you've watched some of my other videos, when I talk about how to grow, in my opinion, your schedule being consistent is probably more important than the time of day that you're streaming. Because what you need to do is build in a rhythm where people don't have to guess when you're live. Because I've met a lot of people who start streaming and they're like, oh, I'll fit in, 2 hours here, 3 hours there, and they're always different start times. So like right now I feel really good about my schedule because 10:30 a.m., assuming I'm not late, which never happens. 10:30 a.m. Monday through Friday, right? So people in my community start developing that rhythm. They know when to expect me to be live. They don't have to wonder, is Preacher going to go live, right? So you're building in that rhythm. You think about your favorite TV shows. Like, they don't really do this now because we have everything on demand, right? You can watch whatever you want whenever you want. But the reality is you have, you used to know exactly when your show was on during the week, the exact time. Can't miss it. Tune in every single time. You know what I mean? Portly says if he's early, there's something wrong. One of my community members right there. Another really good conversation here. Goldie, I got your question. I'm going to try to lock some of these in. I might not get to all of them, you guys. I'll do my best. Okay? Get good. Let me see if I can get this one down here as well. Just copy and pasting a little bit. So anyway, consistency is a really big thing too. The question was like, how do you decide your schedule? I stream 6 days a week, but I wouldn't say that more is better. I'm the kind of person who would say less is more, not more is more. What I mean by that is streaming all the time, constantly, every single day, hours at a time, when you're starting out, might not be the best use of your time. It might be better if you were streaming 6 days a week to 1, 2, 3 viewers, to take a step back, take a day of the out of your schedule, or even 2 days, to start building in like the back end stuff, which would be graphics, branding, getting involved in communities outside of your channel when you're live. The off-stream time, in my opinion, especially early on, is one of the most important things. It still is for me. One of the most important things when it comes to growth early on. Typical Thrill, this is a quick question. Do you have a cheap first mic you recommend? I don't know if I would say a good cheap mic, but I'll tell you that you can make a USB mic sound really good if you know how to use the filters in your streaming software. Right? So, really quick little take on this. In OBS, for example. Now, I have a Go XLR, so I have multiple audio sources that would be impacted by the filters. But like compression, noise gate, all of these things, you can also add an equalizer. All of these things are really helpful if you can understand them and use them well to make your microphone sound very decent. Now, I use an XLR mic because I know that there's a quality that I can get in a dynamic XLR mic that I can't get with some others. I've used a Blue Yeti. Right, this guy. This is my first mic that I ever bought. I bought this in a Logitech C920 webcam. That's what I started out with. Worked great. You can actually get really good sound quality out of one of these. So, highly recommend it. All right, the next question that we had was, need help with my PC or lack thereof. What to pick up? What is a must-have to start with the PC? I'm just using my phone right now while streaming. It all depends on how you're using your PC. Are you using your PC to stream? Or are you using it to game and stream? If you're using, my PC, the one that I have, is it's a dedicated streaming PC. So I have a 1060 graphics card in it and an i7 processor, but the graphics card isn't ridiculous because you're not managing gaming resources from gaming and resources from your stream. So it all depends on what you're using. I will say I've heard a lot of really good things about the, I think it's the Quadcast USB mic, by the way, going back. So I don't know if you guys have heard of that. Is it HyperX, I believe? The Quadcast, I think it's a USB mic. I think the new Elgato mic that came out, I heard really good things about that as well. Let me just check back in with chat here for you guys. Let's see. We got welcome everybody, by the way. My name's Preacher. If you're just tuning in, this is my first stream through the YouTube channel for Streamloots, where we talk about everything streaming in Streamloots. My goal is to help you guys with questions that you have. Talk about streaming. The good, the bad, and the ugly. And let me tell you, I can share a lot about the ugly. Like a lot. Vinny, what's up, by the way? Good to see you. Did I make my graphics? Some yes and some no. Initially, when I started streaming, I used to make graphics myself to personalize it. Over time, I realized there's people that could do a much better job than I could, and I didn't have time to do what I wanted. So I found things. I've used purchased packages, and then I implement other things to make them unique in my own. Like getting modular themes for your stream for overlays is really good because you can make them your own as far as coloring. Let me see here. Streamlabs, OBS, what are you... Yeah, so you're talking to Tara and Delua, talking about alerts. What you need to do, by the way... Retro Rentals asks, how did you get started? Some good questions here. I'll do the best. Let me get through these other questions first here. Do you think starting out with low-budget equipment is worth it, like no cam, for example, or wait until you have a solid setup? I don't think there's a right or wrong. I don't think there's a right or wrong, because you can... In my opinion... It's going to be far more about how you engage with your viewers when they show up versus all of the bells and whistles. That being said, having a bad resolution and bad audio, bad lighting, those things can impact the viewer's experience. So when I first started, I was playing PUBG through my Xbox, streaming directly to Mixer with a USB webcam and absolutely no overlays. That's how I started. In my opinion, it'd be more important to do that, stream to 0 viewers, and start learning about watching the quality of your stream with no one watching, and getting comfortable being yourself in front of a camera, watching yourself as like a replay if you have something that you can see on the side. It'd be more important to spend that time with maybe not as great of equipment and just kind of manage, just that experience first. And then as your viewership grows, investing in better equipment is, I don't want to say it's important, like the most important thing, but it can upgrade the quality, which increases the viewer's experience, right? So. All right, next question that I ended up writing down here. Is streaming on 18 plus really a downfall for viewership? Because I remember being 16, seeing there are seeing the "Are you 18" button, just being like, yeah, obviously. Audiences. There's an audience for everybody. But understanding what limitations you might put on your audience is an important question to ask. Right? So, if you were to think about Ninja, for example, his audience probably is built around a lot of it's probably a more youthful audience. And I think he even made some adjustments over time to appeal more broadly to a larger audience. Some people will make an argument be yourself, and I think that that's a very, very important thing. But if you want to understand the impact on your audience and your growth, it's a conversation you want to have. Right? Next question was, for someone who's about to start streaming as a hobby or a career, what platform do you think you should start? Given that they don't have a single, if you don't have a single follower, should they go Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch? That is a very hard question, because the reality is every platform has different pros and cons, right? When you think Twitch, when you think about watching somebody play games, you think Twitch. That's what I think of. I think most people think that. If I want to watch somebody play a game that I'm interested in, I think Twitch right off the top of my head. Right? Because they were the first, the biggest. They have the largest user base, like streamer user base, right? For gaming content. Now, I'm still learning a lot about this, by the way. I haven't streamed on Facebook. Haven't done it. And I don't know, but it feels like Facebook discoverability is very high, whereas what they offer in relationship to support through analytics and services for users to be able to engage in their streams is very low right now, but they're also growing. So there's the pros and the cons. YouTube gaming, I'm learning about YouTube gaming a little bit myself. Now, I don't know that YouTube is probably what I would know the least about, but I will say that gaming content on YouTube is from what I've learned, much harder when it comes to discoverability and algorithms. But again, I don't want to speak too much to it because I don't know. I don't know that I could speak as intelligently as somebody else about it. My thought is if you're just starting out, try all of the platforms. What do you have to lose from trying each one? Try each platform. The only thing where it starts to get dicey is when you have an affiliateship with any of the platforms or a partnership where there's limitations on when you can do that to try other platforms. But if you're just starting out, take a month, stream to each platform for a week. See how you like it. Keep in mind that developing a rhythm over a long extended period of time is built into growth. So if you are streaming for a week on one platform and then you're gone, well, you might not see the growth that you would see if you gave each platform maybe, let's say, a month, right? To see really what happens as you develop relationships with people who are watching and, develop a viewer base. So going back, one of the questions was about Streamlabs. Streamlabs alerts. How many of you guys in the chat use Streamlabs for any sort of function, whether it's your streaming software or alerts or a chatbot or there's overlays? How many of you guys use Streamlabs for any of that? If you're a streamer. We got Shell, Corey. What's up, Corey, by the way? Is that Squatch? Dallas, okay. We got Streamlabs for everything, okay. Use it for broadcast and alerts. Chris, that's a great question. Talking about social media. I'll get to that one. Chris, I'm going to write that one down right there. Thank you for that, by the way. I appreciate you saying it's broken sevens because I know you. And I don't want to talk to you like I don't know you because I do know you. Charlie says just started using it. I have used Streamlabs alerts since I started. They've been consistent. It's web-based. It works very, very well. For the most part, has been consistent without having a lot of issues. So, just to give you guys a sense of what I have going on, okay? When it comes to alerts, right? So this is maybe like kind of a beginner's tutorial right here. And we have some videos on setting up Streamlabs. If you haven't checked it out on our channel, there's some static video content about this particular platform, Streamlabs tutorial. Look, you guys are on the TV. Look at that. Look at chat. Say hi. You're on TV. Right, so if I look at my widgets here, right, alert box, okay? If we look at this URL right here, you copy and paste that, and then you go to your streaming software. Look, Mom! I made it!
Mom! I'm on TV! Sick! That is so sick! I think I just spit a little bit.
Okay. You guys, by the way, if you don't know me, I'm a very weird dude. So it's a pleasure to meet you. I promote as much as possible embracing the weird, embracing yourself, and never apologizing for being weird. Get weird. That's the moral of the story. Get weird. Okay. So in like, for example, in OBS, when you want to set up an alert source, you're going to go to browser source right here. And then that URL that you copied from Streamlabs. Oh, I can't use this. Test 2. You're going to place it right here. Right there. You place it there. And then you can change the sizing of it here if you want to do that. You can just drag and drop when you have it settled. Paste it right there, and then you'll get something that looks like this one that I have here. This is where my alerts are. Okay? So that's it. Right there. Okay? Just to give you an idea. And that's it. Now, you want to make sure the source is visible, right? A lot of people, this is one of the things that I had to learn right away. Now, my overlay's kind of in the way here. I'm going to move my cam. We'll move it up here, okay? Is when you look at the list here, this is like a giant sandwich. So this is like the bottom piece of the bread, and this is the top piece of the bread. And this is all based on what you see, okay? A lot of people make this mistake early on. They're like, why can't I see it? I added it to OBS or Streamlabs, and I cannot see it. Well, it's because you're not obeying the laws of the sandwich. Now, I love sandwiches, but I don't eat bread, meat, cheese, lettuce, and then mustard on top. No, we sandwich it. That's how it works. That's a sandwich, okay? So when you're looking at this, you want to look at it as a sandwich. Bottom piece, top piece, and everything in between. So dragging and dropping these things, right? So if I move my cam underneath here, I can move it really wherever I want. Let's say I put it behind the display capture. Gone. Bye. Bye. Put it back up here. You can also turn it on and off by clicking the eyeball. Boom. Where did Preacher go? Who knows? There I am. Okay. So some of the basic things that are like really important when you have an alert, a lot of people are like, oh, I have the alerts on, everything's there, but they have it at the bottom here, and that's why they can't see it, even if it's added as a browser source, right? So browser sources take a URL that's provided by a third-party integration and allow that to show up on your scene wherever you place it, right? Let me go back to some of the other questions. Somebody asked about social media. I think it was Squatch. Okay. So going back to like platforms, we talked about like Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, and yeah, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, and what's the other one? Hey, Mom, what's that other one? Those are the main ones. It was a joke. I'm an old Mixer partner, so it's kind of a joke. But when it comes to social media, yo, Texan, what's up, homie? How are you, bro? Tara and Delua says, thank you. Also, what is the best way to stream a game display capture or window capture? If you're using a PC or you're gaming on a PC, a capture card can be very, very helpful. Display capture or window capture could work. What you're going to want to do is maybe test both and see what it looks like on your stream. Now, the nice thing about OBS, for example, and Streamlabs is you can record like 10 minutes before you go live. Record right here. Boom. Do a quick little test recording, save it somewhere on your PC, and watch it back and see how it looks. Right? When it comes to social media, understanding, like, oh man, I could talk about this all day, yo. You guys, and we only have 20 minutes left, yo. Social media, right? Think about this. How many hours a day? I'm curious, for those of you who stream, when you're streaming, how long is your stream session? How many hours, any individual stream, do you stream? How many hours? What's the time frame? For me, I would say 7 hours to 8 hours each stream. Hey, Cassandra, what's up? How are you? Two Fly. And Atlas. And Atlas, you guys. Shout out to Atlas. Also works with Streamloots. Awesome creator. A dope human being. Everybody say hi to Atlas. Two to 4, 4 to 8, 4 to 10. It's quite a that's a big shift there, Killer Mom. 5 to 7, 1 to 3. Somebody also asked about music too. How do you get music on Facebook Live as a level up? Honestly, cause I'd have to look into that more because I'm not familiar as much with Facebook's music situation. I heard that they started adding the ability to play music, like they have their own bank of music that you can use, I think. So I don't know exactly. Best way to stream games from a console is a video capture if using a capture card. Dallas, you are absolutely correct. We have a video for that too. Okay, so Arctic Noble says, I watched one of your vids and it helped me do my first live today. It was 1 hour. Hey, GG's, Noble. Well done, dude. How did it go? So, you stream, let's say, an average of 6 hours anytime you stream. Right? And let's say you don't use social media at all. You don't use social media at all. You just go live. You hit go live. You wait to see who shows up. You talk to whoever does. And you log off. And now, there are 24 hours in the day. Okay, there's 24 hours in the day. And you have 6 hours taken up for your live stream. Now you're missing out on 18 hours that people are out and about on the interwebs perusing content. So I get this question a lot, like, should I use social media? The answer is yes, you should. Do you have to? No. Are you missing out on a massive opportunity to stay in front of people if you're not? Yes. Along with that, with social media, now I would say understanding each one in how different they are. Instagram, right? Image-based. It's image-based content. The content you'll see on Instagram is much more image-based. On Twitter, it's much more thought-based, right? You only get so many characters. Thoughts are going to succeed a lot more on Twitter than they might on an Instagram platform. Now, right now, let's talk about TikTok, right? So TikTok is the ish right now, right? Everybody and their mother's got a TikTok. So it's important to understand trends and how they change. TikTok is done something very unique where you're getting a lot of creative content and skits that Twitter wasn't really known for, and that Instagram wasn't really known for. And they've now leveraged that, and people are engaging in TikTok so much right now that it's a platform that's very, very successful for growth. So my thought with TikTok is that, maybe I should say it this way. My thought with social media is that if you're just starting out, understand that there is a massive, massive value in utilizing social media. where you start is really your call. If you already have an audience or a friend base built on a certain platform, start there. Like if you primarily used Instagram and you have a really good following there, if you want to translate people who might be a part of your Instagram following to come check out your live stream when you're live, you might start with your, primarily using that. But again, let's say that there's this other platform like TikTok that you're not even using at all that has a large potential with low investment. That means that you might want to actually consider spending some time there too. So my thought with social media is use it. It might be better though. Again, this goes back to context. Your context is different. It might be more successful to use one really, really well than use 4 very, very poorly. So what I mean by that is like, if you're only ever posting like, hey, I'm live, and it's a picture of your stream setup, I'm live, or it's a picture of you. Yes, there's consistency there where you're staying in front of people, but you're also posting content that's not really engaging and could become annoying and might actually act negatively with your growth, right? So it's something to keep in mind when you're dealing with social media. So I hope that answers that question, Squatch, by the way. Right now, I primarily use Instagram and Twitter. I have followings there. That's where I start. TikTok is the one that I'm kind of dabbling with a little bit here and there, just for fun, just to see what happens if I post gaming content on TikTok. Right? Try it out. Do some research. Try it out. You think oh yeah, I see what you're saying there, Orange. I go live straight from the Streamlabs on Facebook Live. Is that the most effective way, or should I go live on the actual Facebook website? Kaz, let me see if I understand this. You go live straight from Streamlabs on Facebook Live. Are you not going live on Facebook Gaming? Are you doing, like, what exactly are you streaming, I guess? Squatch says, I do that. Now, okay, going back to the going live posts, by the way, if you look at a pie chart of all of the things that you post on a weekly basis, and you had to categorize them, right? Let's talk about, like, maybe stream clips and montages, kind of recaps from what you've streamed, what you've streamed. Streamed? Streaming. Streamers. Streamloots. You have that category. Then you have the category of, like, maybe thought sharing, something that's thought provoking, or a question that you're posing people who follow you on social media. And then you have, in the pie chart, you have telling people when you're live. What I see a lot of people do that they make a mistake of when they start is that pie chart is 90% going live posts. And it's basically like this. It's basically like this, right? Imagine it this way.
I'm live. I'm live again. Yo, come check me out. I'm live at twitch.tv. So, dude, I'm going live again. Hey, have you guys ever wondered why they put honey in mustard? I'm live again. By the way, I'm live again.
90% of the content is you telling people when you're going live. That minimizes the other things that you do because people are tuning out to you. They're tuning you out. You're saying the same thing over and over. And that could go for any of the content that you put on a thing, like on a social media platform. You'd want to keep it diverse. Asking questions on your social media is a really good place to start. Asking questions, you know what I mean? Sure. That's pretty cool. Tara and Dilua says, I'm from Sri Lanka and I stream PUBG Mobile. That's cool. Is there any way that I can attract people from the US? If yes, please give some tips. Language barrier can definitely be a thing. But I would say that gameplay is a huge part. Getting creative with your overlays and the way your stream looks can draw the eyes of people from all over the world, regardless of where you're from. That's the coolest thing about streaming. It brings people together, right? So my thought is, get creative, make it visually and audiology. We're making up words today, and I'm really not upset about it. Audio, yeah. Through audio, get creative, get engaging in those areas, and you can draw users. Now, the thing that I would say about that is, audibly, Orange, my man, got my back, is keep in mind that the time that you're streaming, there's time zone differences, right? So you'd want to be thinking, if you're trying to draw a US audience, you're going to want to stream at a time when you would be able to, I mean, you'd want to be live when people in the United States are awake. So that's a good place to start. Keep an honest eye on what time zone you're streaming to or desiring to stream to. Squash says, I have a mic, and with that, when I plug it into the computer, I get a humming noise. What is the best way to fix that? It could be the cable. Could be a grounding thing with the cable. If it's a cheap mic, it could have something to do with that. Yeah, those issues, humming, I'd have to hear it myself because it can come from different things. It can come from frequencies with different devices. So there can be like interference there. You'd have to find and identify where that interference is coming from. Could be what you're plugged into. It could be the device itself. Sometimes you'll get like a buzzing sound because you're using kind of crappy cables. Yeah, but if you're getting like a hiss sound, I don't know if I can duplicate it here. Let me see if I can duplicate like the hiss sound versus the humming sound. Okay, hold on. I don't think I can. Let me see. Let's turn the music down. Yeah, I can't really duplicate it here. It's because I've worked out all of my audio stuff where I don't have that. So, it could be some of those things. It would be nice. It would be good. It would be helpful to know what the device, like the actual device is. Like, what is the mic? What kind of mic is it? Like, is it, you're plugging it into the computer, so I'm guessing it's a USB mic. But it could be it could be on the frequencies that are getting crossed, possibly. Could be the computer, could be the device itself, though. A ground loop isolator, yeah, these things can help. A lot of mics, you guys, will produce that sound if the, like, for example, this mic, right, XLR mic, is a great mic. When you plug it in, ready to go, great sounding mic. But it has really low gain, right? So that's unique to this mic. And I needed to get what's called a cloud lifter to boost the signal without making it distorted, right? These are things that you learn about audio over time. What's the difference between OBS and Streamlabs? Virtually not a lot. I will say that Streamlabs, with the way I would explain Streamlabs is that it's maybe a little bit more intuitive and user-friendly if you're just starting out. Because in the Streamlabs software, you have access to everything. Let me see if I can pull it up here. This might break my stream because it'll try to pull sources from... And it might lag my stream here. Let's see. It might pull some sources. It might screw things up here. I gotta see. Oh, it's downloading an update. Could lag my stream too. Which is a point about Streamlabs OBS. It uses more resources. At least my experience is that Streamlabs has used a lot more resources from my computer than OBS Studio. Yes, Orange. Corey is. Alright, let me just check this out here. Hi, Arthemera. Good to see you, by the way. Welcome, everybody. Okay, so here is Streamlabs OBS. The difference between the two, right? You have Streamlabs OBS and OBS Studio. Virtually, they look the same as far as the layout. You have your scenes, your sources for each scene, and a mixer, which is all your audio levels, right? The nice thing about this particular software is that you have things built in, like your notifications, and also access to their alert box library, themes, and their app store, which is all directly connected. It integrates very, very nicely together. So like if you wanted to use a certain theme, you could search for it right within the software, right? And you could literally just click on what you want, 80s synthwave, and then install it right here. And then bing, bang, boom, you've got all your scenes, and they'll show up right here. They'll give you all of the scenes that you need. So, like, it's really great for if you're starting out and you don't do what I do, which is have all of these ridiculous things in your scenes, each scene. Right? Look at how many scenes I have. Right? I have all of these scenes. And then in each scene, I have all of these sources. Right? If I was doing this in Streamlabs, at least from my experience, I would be shredding the resources on my computer. Like it lags. I don't know what it is about Streamlabs, but for some reason I deal with like lag and like switching between scenes and things where it slows down the software. Maybe it's my processor or my GPU. I don't know. But I have not had that issue with OBS. OBS seems to do a little bit better for me. Now, a lot of people use Streamlabs though, so yeah, I'll say it that way. So if I was doing things like transition, like I do, a lot of my community who's here knows that they see some creative things that I do, right? So for example, transition to dancing. Are you ready? Are you ready for this? Right, so those kinds of things, for some reason, I even actually just saw a little bit of light because I had Streamlabs open while I was doing that. And I don't know if it's just the resources that it requires. I think it's just a little bit more taxing. Anyway. Hey, Dallas. Hey, GG's, by the way, man. That's awesome. That's a great start, dude. So, a couple things, you guys. We're going to finish up here. This has been really fun. I hope that you guys have enjoyed dialoguing about streaming. I love talking about this stuff. I do this in my live stream on Twitch infrequently. I've got a lot of people in my community that are streamers at all different sizes, all different places, and I love talking about this stuff, sharing ideas, and kind of being a place of support where people can learn and grow. Because you can't always get that information with the people that you watch that you really enjoy, and you're always wondering, what are they doing? Like, how did they do that, right? I like to be the guy that tells you and shows you how you can do these things. And I'm still learning. I am still growing. I watch YouTube videos just like you guys do all the time. Even though I make them, I still watch them all the time. And so my goal has always been to be, to have a humble approach to content creation, to always be a learner. And for me, that's helped me grow a lot. That's helped me develop a community of people who want to support each other, learn alongside each other, and kind of go beyond content creation in the game and really just get to know each other. You know, like that's the bread and butter of any community, is a place where people can support each other. So you guys can always tune in when I'm live on Twitch. Preacher FTW. Okay, that's the name. Preacher FTW, all one word. I'm live basically Monday through Friday, starting at 10:30. Sometimes I have a flex day in there, and then I do like a sub day on Sunday nights. So, thank you, Artie. So, I'm glad, Goldie. I'm glad. Squash says I have so many questions. I guess my question for you guys is, part of us doing this stream today, because we have not done this before, is to find out what type of desire there is to learn about these kinds of things in a live setting. And then also to see kind of just who would show up from our Streamlabs or Streamloots community. Yeah. So jump in there anytime, you guys. I don't know if that's clickable, though. I don't know. That's the thing, is I've not streamed on Twitch. I don't know if they allow links or anything like that. So maybe you have to have the full URL, but it's there. No, you're all good, Artie. Some of my moderators from my community are actually here too, because they're legends. Lots of people. But anyway, would love for you guys to come stop in there. If you ever want to chat about things live, sometimes I'm dialed into a game. I don't always get to it, but I spend a lot of downtime dialoguing about all this stuff. So you might not be able to click on it, but if you just copy and paste it, throw it in a web browser, should be good. That's awesome, Dallas. That's great. So, the other thing, you guys, is make sure if you haven't subscribed to Streamloots on YouTube, we would love to have you guys do that. Turn your alerts on. We have more content coming out in the future. Very excited to do more and share more ideas and thoughts about streaming, and continue to help you guys make a living doing what you love. If you love this is a great place to go for info. Okay? All right, you guys. With that being said, thanks for kicking it with us. We may do this again. Follow Streamloots on Twitter. Follow Streamloots on Instagram. We post there often. I know, right, Shell? Copy and paste. And we would love to see you guys on those platforms as well. All right? Thank you guys so much. Appreciate it. Make sure you take care of yourself. Take care of each other. And don't forget to make every day the best day ever. Love you guys.